good morning and welcome back to the channel. We have crossed the border and we are now in Scotland, and we're parked up just outside Stirling. It was a very wet night a couple of nights ago and we had a bit of a leakage in the van, but don't want to bore you with our van problems. But it's a beautiful day today, so I'm taking the opportunity to go climb a hill. Traveling very minimal today. It's more about the walk than the photography, so a little X100T on the go. Now, as I said in a video a couple of episodes ago, I've not been doing too well, and so I was kind of thinking about this, and obviously I've always tried to be as genuine and as kind of truthful on this channel as possible, and I think, you know, it's not just a case of me dropping in that video of how I've been and then going back to, wow, look at this, isn't it beautiful? The reality of the situation is things are still not great. But getting out, with or without the camera, to be honest, does give me a little bit of solace. So today's video, I thought I would just bring you along, and it's really about noticing. Now, the light, it's sort of mid-morning, and the light, as you can expect, is reasonably harsh. It's okay, but I wouldn't say it's, you know, as good as it could be, but that's fine, because I say this walk's going to be about really trying to engage myself in the environment and just look for maybe some smaller details, look for some other scenes. It really is just about, well, first and foremost, it's about recovery. And certainly being out on the hoof is that. So we'll wander on and we'll see what we can pick up. So first, a little bit of noticing as I meandered up this pretty steep road. Now, interestingly, the car park where this walk starts from is taking part in the Scotland Forestry Stay the Night campaign, i.e. you can stay the night in your camper van. Interestingly, at the bottom of this road it says unsuitable for caravans and motorhomes, and I would even say it would be quite an interesting ride up in our little camper van. Anyway, so walking up here, and just there's sort of speck of light coming through the woodland, and the ferns. Now, obviously the ferns are still a lush green, but who doesn't like a nice fern, black and white, a little bit of sort of speckled shadow over it? And that's exactly what we have down to my right here. So obviously in the black and white film simulation. Now, I'm keeping myself in a 3x2. I'm shooting these all just with JPEG. So I'm shooting these in a 3x2 format rather than a 1x1, because obviously if I'm shooting 1x1 in JPEG, you're stuck with a 1x1, whereas at least with a 3x2 I can potentially crop afterwards. And I'm just really now, actually that light has now dissipated, which all of a sudden makes this scene not as interesting, because you don't get the sort of same sort of depth in the image as well. But it's just little moments like that that I'm trying to engage myself with. It feels like I'm almost starting afresh, I guess is the way to put it, but engaging with the things that are around me rather than just letting things wash over me, which has certainly been the case for a good couple of months now, and just wasn't a good place. But engaging my senses, especially my visual senses, is allowing me to sort of break that up a little bit. Apologies if this is going to be a bit rambly, and maybe the next couple of vlogs will be a bit rambly as well, because I do find it quite difficult to articulate how I'm feeling. But anyway, I'll throw this image up and we'll dander on. That's me starting on a little walk up Dumyat Hill, I think it's called. I'll put the name up below. And already some beautiful views out to the Wallace Monument. Not much in the way of photography on the way up. We lost a little bit of the light. In fact, we lost a lot of the light. But as I said, this morning's excursion is more to do with being outside, seeing whether we notice a couple of things, but generally just filling our lungs with a little bit of air. As you know, we came back from Europe and ended up in Cambridge for a week. Not a lot of walking done there, a bit too much indulgence. We did climb Scafell Pike, which, given all the hiking that we did in Spain, we find really easy, bizarrely. Maybe it is an easy climb. But it's been nice to get up into Scotland, and hopefully we get a couple of Munros done at some point. That's the general plan of things. But anyway, we'll wander on through. Oh, he's fallen into a hole. We'll wander on through, and there's a little lock over there, and see whether we can notice anything. Oh, and by the way, if I clamber up here, the car park that I was talking about for camper vans, there is another road into it, which looks accessible. And in fact, there's quite a big motorhome already down in the car park. So big thumbs up to the Scottish Forestry for putting on this temporary trial. Hopefully everyone has behaved themselves, and it's something that we see taking permanent fix, because having been in Europe and the ease of which we find park-ups and services, and then coming back here where you feel like a second-class citizen, yeah, the UK could certainly learn a thing or two. Right, enough ranting. Let's whittle on. A lovely wee walk, and I'm assuming the Walking Highlands page, which, by the way, if you're ever coming to Scotland, check out the Walking Highlands page if you're doing your walks. fantastic resource. But I'm assuming that the walk description for this walk is before they put in this new path, and that's removed a lot of the, I think, boggy sections. But it's lovely. Lovely view out the Wallace Monument over Stirling as well in the distance. And I think as we get higher here towards the summit of this little bump, you get to see the rest of the Ochels, is it? Which again, we were speaking to someone down in Glencapel, that a lot of people just blast through this area in Dumfries and Stirling and Perthshire, getting up to the bigger hills and the more grander vistas. But you know what? This ain't too shabby. Reasonably popular. I've seen about 5 or 6 other people on it, so, but it's lovely. And now we've got that lovely sort of dappled stroke subdued light, which is actually highlighting some of the sort of burnt oranges and yellows in the grass. So, all rather nice. Right, we shall wander on. So that's us up at the top. Lovely views all the way around. Ben Lomond and some of the sort of southern Munros in the distance. Obviously looking back out towards some of the other towns in Perthshire and Stirlingshire. But lovely wee climb actually. Only took about, once you get on from the car park, you could probably yump up this in about half an hour, 45 minutes. Especially with that new path, a few little scrambly bits, but not too bad. The light has kind of subsided a little bit, and as I said, it is a little bit breezy now. So what I'm probably going to do is not stay around here for too long and start making my way back down the hill again. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, I guess, slightly different vlog this time around. I've said this a number of times before, creativity is really one. Getting outside and creativity, especially if those two things are hand in hand, really do help the old noggin. And so I might start worrying less about schedules and polished this and polished that, and just start creating more and throwing some more up onto the YouTubes, because I do enjoy doing it. It almost feels a little bit like therapy, I guess, talking, well, the 1 or 2 people who are watching this. But yeah, I'm going to wander back down again. If I grab any more images on the way back down again, I'll throw them up here at the end. But once again, guys, thanks a lot for following along, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.